Hey guys, today we're testing the 2018 Lexus LS500 F Sport. This F Sport retains the same twin-turbo V6 as the rest of the LS line. It has 415 horsepower and 442 pound-feet of torque. It also has a slightly different grille to separate it from the rest of the LS lineup. It has 20-inch wheels, 6 piston calipers in the front, and 4 piston calipers in the rear. This particular car is the rear-wheel drive with the F Sport handling package, which has variable ratio steering as well as active rear steer and an active anti-roll bar. The air suspension in this car also has a rapid height function. All of this combines to make for a really pretty compelling handling package when you put it out on the road. We're going to be driving some pretty tight twisties in this video, and the F Sport really does handle them quite well. This is definitely the fun one to drive. Let's see how it does.
It looks like the F Sport has slightly different gauges and just a little bit different of a design in here. This is more blue. The Mark Levinson audio car had kind of a reddish burgundy tint to the infotainment, which is kind of a neat feature. Nice touch. Alright guys, so once we get past the gate here, we're going to take kind of a twisty back road and put the F Sport through its paces a little bit while not running into any cops or cyclists. I was really impressed earlier with this car and how the dynamics just blend this really nice combination of sportiness but also a lot of comfort at the same time. This has these active sway bars that really control chassis movement and just do a fantastic job keeping the car planted, and there's virtually no body roll with this system. It's pretty amazing. It's almost a little bit strange because just how well it works and the general feel and feedback you get from the driver's seat. So just like the Lexus LC, you do have your driving mode selector up here, kind of right within arm's reach. This is really nice in practice. I really like it. You don't have to take your focus off of what's ahead of you. There's no driving mode selector down here like there used to be. It's just right up next to the steering wheel, and it's a little bit reminiscent of the LFA when they kind of launched that interior design language and some of those design features back in the day. So we're gonna let this Prius get up ahead of us a little bit. There's always a Prius. Today's no exception. So you'll notice that as we go down this back road, the car will kind of begin to learn our driving style and what we're asking from the vehicle. So in Sport Plus, we're going to be it's going to hold the revs up high. It's going to kind of give us maximum power output through the bends. It's going to downshift around corners under braking. It's kind of cool. If we can just leave the car in automatic, it'll basically make all of the transmission and gear selection choices for us. And it works very well. This also does the same thing in normal mode. You don't have to be in Sport or Sport Plus, which is kind of a neat new feature. Part of me wants to just throw it into manual and use the paddles, but in some respects, this works just as well as, if not better, in automatic. So right off the bat, I'm noticing, just comparing this to the last vehicle I drove, which was an executive package, rear-wheel drive, it's a little bit stiffer, a little bit sharper ride. Definitely not as damped as much as a luxury vehicle as the last LS that I drove. Oh, that's cool. Challenger. And in Sport and Sport Plus mode, you do get audio piped into the cabin. So that is, it's not a physical thing, it is through the speakers and the sound system, but I think it gives you the effect. Most people aren't going to know the difference, and it does allow the car to be quiet under normal driving positions. Alright, so now it's recognizing that we're on a back road, and it's giving us some performance. You'll see the gauge cluster turn from orange to red as you approach red line. Throw it in a manual for a minute, see how it works with the paddle shifters. Transmission isn't super responsive, but it gets the job done, gives you the power you want when you need it, and it doesn't seem to be hunting around too much for gears. I guess that's a worthy trade-off for how smooth and luxurious it is in normal driving conditions. This is a very comfortable car. It is an LS after all, it's not a sports car. It's a good place to test out the four-wheel steering. This is a very long wheelbase for such a big vehicle, but the four-wheel steer does shorten it and make it feel just a little bit more sporty, a little bit more like a sports sedan. Brakes feel nice, good pedal modulation and initial bite. This is a pretty serious 6-piston setup up front in the F Sport. Nice steering feel. I believe this does have a variable adjustable ratio rack. Sometimes those get a little bit funky feeling on back roads, but this feels pretty good. .442 pound-feet of torque from 1,800 RPM to I believe 4,800 RPM. Pretty wide torque band. And this probably marks the end of our run on this back road. Overall, the car feels really good. I mean, the F Sport is definitely the one to have if you're going to be doing some driving and back road blasting in your LS 500. If you're going to be spending more time in the back seat, the executive package is probably the way to go. But this F Sport does offer a pretty significant change from the standard LS 500, and I assume probably the hybrid as well. It does inject a little bit of sportiness into the lineup, which is nice. Before, the F Sport used to be just a little bit of an appearance package, and now it's translating into more of a chassis and performance package that has some significant differences from the rest of the lineup, which is nice. Alright guys, well hopefully we'll get some more time in these at a later date and give you some more impressions on these cars, but for now, pretty impressed with this new LS 500. I'm going to hand it over here to my passenger who can get some driving impressions and do what he needs to do. So, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. We'll see you guys later. This red interior, pretty sharp.